Hello, introducing Project 3 Mini Me, a chatbot that represents my learning experience in TDF. I am Jiaqi. Let's get started. In this project, I use Zero-Wiz Workbench platform to design an AI agent that will engage a dialogue about my work in Technology Design Foundation course based on my weekly report and final project reports. Let's take a look at the system architecture. The system architecture starts with a prompt input from the user, then goes through a prompt instruction node to format it with the help of GPT-4o Mini, then pass on the formatted prompt to search knowledge node, which will output relevant knowledge variables to the main prompt instruction node that defines the purpose of my agent. The prompt is now both formatted correctly to relate to a specific project and containing relevant knowledge from my knowledge base. This prompt will then be passed to OpenAI ChatGPT-4o to generate a response and output that back to the user. I started by exploring what type of responses I would get with different augmentation of the model. For example, when I only use GPT to process a question, the output would be very generic or totally irrelevant to me because it does not have knowledge base about me. Whereas if I add a retrieval augmented generation process and curate a well-structured knowledge database, the output will be significantly more relevant to the conversation. Moving on to prototype demonstration, I will show you how my prototype responds to the 5 questions on the right. For the first question, what is your purpose? I think my agent did a pretty good job bringing relevant information about me and the course, although it went too specific on the first project. The response to the second question is very concise and accurate. The third question is, what projects have you worked on this semester? I'm really satisfied with this response because my agent provided a high-level overview of project 1, 2, 3. It is very concise and very relevant. The fourth question is about the challenges I faced. The agent did a great job finding a specific challenge I had when using Grasshopper. I would like to find different challenges every time I run the flow, but somehow the agent always ends up with the same example. So I had to ask specifically about the challenges I faced in Project 2 to get a different outcome. Moving on to the last question, I'm surprised that the AI agent actually predicted I want to do a dynamic art installation for the final project. I also asked 3 additional questions, and let's take a look at how it responded. The first question is a simple fact check about who I worked with. The response was accurate. And then I move on to ask a more specific question about why I use the lattice structure for project 1. And the answer provided is also very accurate. I can recognize that it came from my weekly report as well as final project report. The last question is about what technology I used and learned in Project 2. It is interesting how the response started to have structure, which is similar to the structure I had in my final report for Project 2. For project challenges, I explored how to best structure the data in the knowledge base to yield the best result. My first iteration used week as delimiter to separate my entire weekly report into smaller chunks. I did not do further editing beyond that. In my second iteration, I structured my knowledge base based on projects. I will start each chunk with a project it is associated with. When I asked what project have you worked on this semester, I prefer the result from the second iteration because the result is more holistic, summarizing all 3 projects rather than being too narrowed down on one specific project. Designing with large language model and systems thinking can reshape human experiences by fostering environments that can intuitively respond to our needs, making interactions more seamless and human-like. In engineering, expectation might shift towards collaborative innovation where AI co-creates with human, making design process faster and more adaptive. As for the challenge level, I picked to be the Triceratops because I did some simple exploration but still learned a lot along the way. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!